Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Hazel Lucia Tarot and I am your tarot reader, Stephanie, the one and only. I do not have a second channel. This is my only channel. So if you're watching us anywhere else, they are abroad. But we have your December tarot reading in this time around. We're going to see what the month of December has in store for you. We're going to look at your general, love, relationship, and career/finance sections as well. We have 4 piles here for you today. Pile 1, we have this blue candy cane. Pile 2, we have this, it's a peppermint white chocolate candy. Pile 3, we have a red candy cane. And pile 4, we have this regular chocolate peppermint candy. So take a few deep breaths, think about the month of December, and I'll be ready for your reading whenever you are. Hello there, pile 1. If you chose the blue candy cane, then we have your reading here for you for the month of December. We're going to see what the month of December has in store for you. We're going to look at your general, love, relationship, and career sections, but we're going to start off with the oracles to see what is going to come through for you. So the card you got is Merriment, number 21. What joy, what glee beams from the sounds of voices, uplifting the webs of sorrow, glimmering as if no tomorrow. So lots of happy times. I feel like the month of December is going to be full of joy and good things, especially if you've had a rough year or if you just haven't been in the best of moods lately. December is going to be a good one. You're going to have fun, or at the very least, it's going to be better than the previous months for sure. The 21st could be of importance, and I want to say that's when the winter solstice begins. I'm not sure if it's that same date this year, but regardless, I feel like it's going to be a great old time. Let's get more cards for you, pile 1. For my pile 1, this does make me think of St. Lucia. I wonder if some of you, that date is important. That is specifically December 13th. I guess it is for me because that is my online name, Lucia. We also have Ringing the Bells, number 30. Ring thy bell to cast them out, ring thy bell and dance about. Swirl with the sounds amidst the winds, nowhere to hide, for all will ring. You know what? I feel like you're having a lot of fun this month. I feel like you're going to be either partying a lot or going to a lot of places that are like fun and festive. Maybe you're going to be going to a lot of parties this month as well. Because I'm also seeing outdoors. Maybe some of you are spending time outdoors if it's not too cold where you live, or you're just spending more time outside. But I am seeing like a lot of lights, music, fun, people gathering for you. And maybe, of course, that makes sense. Maybe some of you have a lot of parties in December towards the end of the year. But for some of you, I feel like even if it's not the case, usually, I think this year or this month, it definitely will be. Back of the deck, we have Star, number 36. Follow the stars for they know best. Not too light, not too dark, a shimmer of what is coming next. I love this because I feel like in all the time you spend having fun, you actually make plans for the year, because the star is making me think of the star in the tarot deck, which is a card of hope and a card of, for some of you, it could be being in the spotlight. So people could be celebrating you, especially if you're a December baby. But I feel like there's going to be a lot of good stuff going on, lots of brightness, lots of joy. Again, regardless of the year that you have been having or how it's been lately, I feel like it's going to be a great month. You're going to have fun. Let's go ahead and get the rest of your cards. Pile 1. Oh, the 30th could also be an important date. So the 21st through the 30th could be important dates. We have gift. How appropriate. So you may be getting some gifts this month. Of course, if you celebrate Christmas, that makes a lot of sense. Or any holiday where gift giving is a big deal, or even, again, birthday. But regardless, you might be getting something that you weren't expected, because I feel like this gift for a lot of you is unexpected. And the gift doesn't have to be something physical. It could be like the gift of time, the gift of somebody's time, I'm hearing, or the gift of, I keep hearing time, like time with somebody or time for something, maybe time for yourself. Back of the deck, Moon. Yeah, like I said, it's unexpected because, again, the moon makes me think of the tarot moon where it's about secrets. But as opposed to deception here, it's like a good secret, something that, you weren't expecting. Or maybe you were, but it's like expectedly unexpected. Let's get the rest of your cards. It's kind of like, you know how you expect people to get gifts during this time of the year because it's the end of the year and people are partying. But maybe you yourself weren't expecting something from someone. I'm also hearing bonuses. Maybe some of you weren't expecting bonuses this year and you are getting them. Whatever bonus may mean to you. We have Scorpion, Vigilance, again with a secretive energy. Number 8, there could be a Scorpio involved. You could be a Scorpio, but again, lots of secrets coming through. But these are like good secrets. These are happy secrets. I'm also seeing a little bit of, oh, maybe this is you being asked to keep a certain gift or something secret from somebody. So again, nothing shady here. This is all like positive things. So let's say like you're planning to give somebody something big or something special and somebody like tells you and it's like, but don't tell them. I want to keep it a secret until this time. I'm kind of getting that. Or this could be you receiving some sort of secret surprise, but I'm here to tell you that it's going to be positive. So if somebody's being a little extra sneaky, a little extra secretive, it's probably for a good reason. Back of the deck, we have Transformation, Serpent, number 44. Interestingly, 44 does, if you add 4 and 4, it equals 8. So maybe those are important numbers. Interesting with the Serpent and transformation. Somebody could be going through a transformation, or there is something happening this month that could literally transform your life. Let's get your last cards for my pile 1. What is happening for them in December? Besides a lot of good stuff I'm hearing. You could go to a tree farm. I don't know if it's to get your own tree or just to hang out. I love the way trees smell. I love specifically like cedars and pines, all the evergreen trees. Where I live, there's a lot of them and they smell so nice this time of year. Maybe you're just going for the vibes. I know I would if given the chance. We have Test. Interesting. We have Fear reversed, and I'm going to keep it reversed. We have Boundary. I feel like some of you have been putting up boundaries due to fear or maybe even to test somebody out. So the example that is coming through is, let's say you were meeting somebody, whether it's a friend or maybe a potential romantic interest, and you kind of put up boundaries, whether it was intentional or unintentional. Maybe you do this out of habit, and that has become a bit of a test. I see that boundary being taken down if it was due to fear, or maybe like, because I'm seeing here like you letting your guard down. Maybe you had some suspicion that somebody was up to no good, or some suspicion that something was wrong, and because of that you put up a boundary. And now I see you kind of either relaxing that boundary or just kind of wondering, did you do this out of habit because you expected the worst? Or did you do it because there was a legitimate reason to do so? So I see you analyzing something here. And that was coming through very strongly. So that could be a theme for December. And maybe there's reason for you to reassess your boundaries. And I'm not saying you have to take it down. I'm just saying that maybe there were reasons that you put it up and those reasons are no longer there. So take that only if it resonates. That's not going to be for everybody, but that was coming through rather strongly. Back of the deck, we have Silence reversed. Again, I feel like the silence will not last long because I do see that there is somebody or something or maybe a group of people that you've been keeping a distance from, and now it's kind of like you're relaxing that. Maybe you only do that this time of the year. Again, if you are big into the holidays and you have to see family, for example, and maybe you're doing this for that reason. If not, it could be maybe somebody new. So I do feel that being a big theme this month for sure. So maybe I'm kind of wondering if some of you, the boundary is like, oh, you don't do holiday parties, you don't go out to anything, maybe you don't even participate in things like Christmas or whatever winter holiday you typically celebrate or is celebrated. But maybe you let your guard down just to have fun or to do something here. I'm kind of picking up on that as well. It's like letting yourself live in the moment. So let's say you're one of those, I don't do Christmas. And that's fair, that's fine. I think that's completely valid. But somebody invites you to a Christmas party and you're like, it's like, well, I really like this person, or they've been very kind and generous to, invite me to their thing. So I'll just go out of respect, even though Christmas is not my thing. I'm kind of getting a little bit of that as well. Because I feel like you don't have to particularly believe in the things that people celebrate in order to celebrate them. Because it's not always about the you know, that thing. Sometimes it's just about being around people that you enjoy and love and that enjoy and love you as well. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into the tarot. And of course, take that only if it resonates. I'm not saying that you will compromise your own beliefs or anything like that. But it is, of course, to me, this time of year is more about the people than anything. It's like a way of showing gratitude, if you will. So for the tarot, I'm using the 8th house tarot. What is my pile one's general reading for December? We have the 3 of Swords, Saturn and Libra. We have the one of Cups. You know, I did mention that you had your, like, either your guard up, your boundaries up, like you had maybe shut somebody out and this was somebody new. So I feel like it could be multiple people, or that could be a pattern that has been repeating this month, or you're going to really focus on that, because that's what I'm seeing again. Let me see if I can focus that. Yeah. For pile 1. Yeah, the 6 of Cups, Sun and Scorpio. I feel like there's a Scorpio involved, or somebody with like heavy Scorpio in their chart, an honorary Scorpio. And this is somebody you've known for some time. So maybe things between you and somebody were a little bit rough and you had put up your boundaries, but they're coming around and maybe you're kind of reassessing where you are. This could be a friendship, this could be family, this could be, again, a potential romantic interest. I sense it from like every angle, and it could be all of the above. We have the Empress. I feel like they're making you an offer. I feel like, especially if this person has messed up, or maybe they feel like they've messed up, they're gonna try and do something right by you. I do see them presenting a gift. Again, it's either a physical gift or the gift of, I feel like for a lot of you, it's the gift of time, especially if your love language is quality time. I feel like that's going to be a thing. Like they gift you a moment with them, or even if it's not a gift itself, it could feel like one, which is really interesting. We have the 2 of Wands, Mars and Aries. Well, okay, I'm interpreting this several ways. I need a clarifier for that, because the main way it's mostly for romantic. Like if it is something romantic, there could be like sparks between the both of you, or rekindling like a passion or a friendship. It's like rekindling something. I keep seeing that. It's like you both bring your match and you light each other up somehow. So regardless of, I guess, the connection, there is like re-inspiring each other. There's a mutual need to, or not need, a mutual want or desire to like bring something back to life. But I will get that clarifier. The 4 of, yeah, it's like you're keeping something here, Sun and Capricorn. I was getting a lot of Capricorn energy in this particular pile, especially in the beginning, because all the dates that were coming through were in the last portion of the month, which is Capricorn. I think Capricorn begins the 21st, the 22nd. But there's a desire to hold on to each other here. So I do feel somebody will come in, somebody who maybe, I don't want to say they broke your heart, but there was definitely disappointment, or maybe something didn't get off the ground, or for whatever reason you had to step away, and somebody will come through and try to revive that relationship. Again, this could be any kind of relationship, platonic, romantic, familial, and maybe for some of you, all of the above. So with that said, interestingly, let's move on to the love and relationship portion, even though that's what was coming through in the general. Some of you could have Venus in Capricorn or Venus in Scorpio, but I want to say Venus is going to be in Sagittarius for this month. I haven't looked at the ephemeris, but I feel like that's what it's going to be. Okay, so love and relationships for my pile 1. We have the Devil. We have the Knight of Swords. Up to no good. Okay, so like I said, you're going to be partying a lot. I do feel like you may have to, again, because I'm getting the sense of wanting to party, but maybe some of you don't like to. So whatever limitations you need to set on yourself in order to party, go ahead and do that. Or you may have to express to people, it's like, yeah, I'll come, but I have this, and this that needs to be taken care of. You know, and I feel like people will be very accommodating. So it could be as simple as a dietary need, which is an easy fix. Or something like maybe you can only stay for a few hours because maybe you have, I don't know, kids that you can't find a babysitter for, or maybe you have to work the next day. Or maybe there's somebody going there that you don't want to have to associate with. Something along those lines. It's like express to people your concerns and I feel like you will be heard. Yeah, we have the King of Pentacles reversed. We have the King of Swords reversed. You may have two people who are fighting over you. Two people in their ego for sure, very controlling. This could either be like, for example, families. Like let's say two families want you over for their Christmas, whatever. This is an example, of course. Two families want you over for their thing. And they're both really like at odds with each other. It's like, well, you need to come with us because we XYZ. And then the other one's like, well, we invited you first and blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm getting a little bit of that. So people are fighting over you. Pile one for sure. This could also, of course, be romantic. Maybe you have two romantic interests and one feels more entitled than the other to your time. Which is funny because when I was picking up on this energy, I wasn't seeing multiple like romantic interests. I was seeing more like one, if that even applies. But I am kind of seeing it. It could also be like friends versus, for example, your family, or like your friends versus your lover versus your family. So I'm definitely seeing you having to pick and choose, or having to like split your time between everybody who wants you at their thing or wants your time and attention. The difference between the two of them, one is very sword space. So think air energy, like Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, very social. Maybe not the best with coming up with plans, but when they do get together, it's like a fun time. And then we have Pentacles, which is like, think of like a rich person, like a rich family, rich daddy, rich mommy energy. Like they have everything for you. You typically go to them because you know it's going to be a good time. They're going to have the best of everything. You're going to be fed. You're going to be, you know, they're probably more organized. So I feel like you're having to choose between these two. If not, it could just be like two different modalities that you're having to dabble in this month. I'm going to get two more. Page of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles. Interesting. Wait, is this 9 or is this... Yep, 9. Page of Cups. So overall, I feel like you can't make everybody happy, but that's not your fault. So do what you can and try to express to people your concerns and your needs and your limited availability, I'm hearing for some of you. And you'll be fine. I think you just have to, like, especially if you're a very people-pleasing person, you're not going to do that this month. So it's better to just, like, I'm not saying you shouldn't try, but it's like, try, and if anybody gets mad about it, that's their problem. You do the best with what you can. Because I am seeing that a lot of people want your attention. The Page of Cups reversed is like new people, or maybe even younger people as well. And of course, if it's your children, I feel like they should come first, but it's kind of like you're not going to make everybody happy. So don't worry about, you know, what they have to say or their expectations on you. You have to do what you need to do. And yeah, just do what you need to do. Do your best. And if that's not enough for them, that says more about them than it says about you. But I do feel like I kind of am seeing maybe people trying to paint you as the villain here as well with the devil, now that I'm thinking about it. And that's not fair to you. It's like you can't be there for everybody. You can't be in a million places at once. You just do what you can. And if people appreciate it, that's wonderful. And if not, then, you know, I don't know. I think that's on them. People can't, it's one thing to invite you, but it's a whole other thing to expect you to be there and judge you because you couldn't or could come, you know. I'm kind of getting a little bit of that. So that's what I'm getting for the love and relationship. It feels more like social circle stuff going on though for December. Okay, and last section, which is career and finance. What do we have going on in career and finance for my pile one? All right, we have the Queen of Cups. You're so checked out from work, it's not even funny. It's like if they thought they were going to be able to get you to do something because of a passion for work, you have no passion for work this month. And it's not because you hate your job, it's just you've got stuff going on outside of your career that might be more important this month. We have the Eight of Pentacles. Regardless, you will still be doing a great job. The Lovers, Five of Wands, the Hierophant reverse. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of you. You're not choosing between work and family. You're definitely choosing, I shouldn't just say family. You're not choosing between work and your personal life. You're definitely choosing your personal life this month, and you kind of don't care because you know you do a good job. And if they want to get mad at you for choosing your personal time over them, that's on them. I'm seeing this pattern of you choosing yourself. You're choosing yourself, and I feel like the reason this general section came through with somebody wanting to do something for you, it's kind of like that act reminds you of your worth, and because of that, you step into this energy of you doing you, and anybody who gets mad can just put up with it. You know, you can't be everything to everyone all at once. That's not realistic, that's not possible, and it's low-key not so healthy of people to expect that from you. So you're kind of doing your own thing, because the Lovers here comes through as a choice between personal life and career. You're definitely choosing personal life. You're not fighting it. You don't care. If there's competition, if there's people out here trying to, because I'm seeing them try to bait you into working even harder, and you're not taking the bait because you see what they're doing. It's like, let's say a workplace is dangling a promotion in front of you. It's like, oh, it's between you and this person and da-da-da-da. You're like, yeah, whatever. If it takes that much to get that, I'm not fighting for it. Because you're not fighting in the workplace. You're not putting up with a lot of nonsense. You're not overexerting yourself. And that's fair, because I feel like by this time in the workplace, or even in finances, you're just doing what you can do, and everything else can kind of just take a back seat, which is fair. I kind of love this energy for you. So yeah, people are not going to be able to emotionally manipulate you in the workplace. Even if it has worked before, even if you typically take that bait, it's not happening. Not at all. Like, I see you just not caring about that. Yeah, the Moon reversed. I feel like some of you have found out something about the workplace that kind of really has left a bitter taste in your mouth, and therefore you're not dealing with it. You're not putting up with it. You're going to do your great job, and you'll see them in the next year, I guess. That's what I'm seeing. But I love this for you. So you're really kind of growing a bit of a backbone this month, pile one. Let's get your final cards. We're using let's use these froggy cards for my pile one. I am going to treat myself the way I would treat my best friend. Yeah, exactly. You're going to treat yourself the way you would treat anybody else. Maybe you're somebody who does a lot for people. You love to spoil people. You love to spoil the people that you're closest to, that you care about the most. But then it's like you take a step back and wonder, why don't I do the same thing for myself? I treat everybody so well. I need to start treating myself just the same. If not, this is the hint to go ahead and treat yourself just as you would everybody else. Pile one, treat yourself with the same care, love, and thoughtfulness that you treat everybody else. But this is where I leave it, my pile one. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Hello there, pile two. If you chose this white chocolate peppermint candy, then we have your reading here for you for the month of December. We're going to see what the month of December has in store for you. We're going to look at your general love, relationship, and career finance. And then but first we're going to start with your oracles. So pile two, turning inward, number 40. Inside this veil of bone and flesh, I lay my soul to sleep. All the truths within thy breath have come to greet me. So you're going to have a little bit of an existential month for sure. I'm getting Charlie Brown vibes. Is that the movie? I haven't seen Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown in a long time, but I'm getting those kinds of vibes where like maybe Christmas or the holidays or whatever you're doing this month just isn't your thing. Maybe some of you don't really like winter. I'm getting winter blues as well. So pile two, I'm sending you so much love. Please take care of yourself. Do what you need to do this month to bring a little extra love, a little extra warmth, both literally and metaphorically into your life. But let's see what else is going on this month for you, my beautiful pile two. Yeah, there's a lot of like Christmas and holiday movies that talk about like not feeling, you know, the vibes, the holiday season, etc. Maybe some of you are going through that this month for sure. Maybe it's just one of those years where you're not really feeling the festivities. Maybe for some of you, you don't really celebrate things like Christmas or anything to begin with, and it's just kind of like how you typically already feel. We have Wreath, number 43. There in the circle of life tends to breathe death. One is not without the other, eternally bound by the essence of spirit. So maybe recently you've had to let something go. It doesn't have to be a literal death, though it can be. But maybe you've recently let something go, and therefore things just don't feel the same, is what I'm getting. Like maybe there's certain things that happen every year, and now because either something, someone, or some situation isn't in your life anymore, it just feels different. So therefore you're kind of in a weird mental space. Back of the deck we have Forest. It is without question a place of mystery, whispers of power you've forgotten. Let thy strength crawl from beneath the ground and remind you, dear child, you are magic. So there's definitely like a lesson this month that you have to regain your power, your own balance. Again, I'm getting the notion that something is not the same. So therefore you're kind of more questioning yourself, questioning choices, questioning a lot of things, or even just like, it's giving me 4 of Cups energy from the tarot, where you're very introspective, introverted. Even if you're typically not that introverted this month, you're just in a weird mind space. And I feel like that's okay. Take the time you need to reassess where you are or where you're going. Let's get the rest of your cards. We have Lovers reversed and Medusa. Interesting. Okay, 2 ways to take the Lovers. How did this want to fall? Okay. How did this want to fall? Reversed. Okay, maybe some of you have recently broken up with somebody. It could be romantic, it could be friendship, could even be familial, but it's kind of like you haven't really been speaking to somebody. And now you're in this energy of like not knowing. It's kind of like being alone after being with somebody for a long time, which is fair. You know, maybe for some of you, I've never really experienced this, but I've heard that sometimes the holidays without the person you were always there with can feel different. Because for some of you, I'm getting like a family member isn't there. So maybe you've lost somebody near and dear to you, and for others it could have been like a breakup, or maybe just, you know, separating from somebody. But then we also have Medusa, and Medusa is interesting because it's kind of like not feeling like yourself. That's how it's coming through in this. Like when Medusa gets turned into a Gorgon, or is that what she's called, a Gorgon? Gorgonite? Into the quote monster. Like she feels different. So I feel like a lot of you try to feel a particular way, but you feel different instead. And that's okay. Like I said, if it's a time of mourning for you this month, even though everybody else is going on with the festivities or whatever else they may have going on, you do you. You do you, and don't worry about what people may think, because you have to take the time to acknowledge your feelings and pay respect to whatever it is that you're processing, whatever it is that you're going through. Because I'm kind of also sensing a guilt of feeling this way, even though it's like, it's nobody's business what you're going through. Maybe this is something that no one is really recognizing either, pile 2. Interesting. I keep getting 2 cards for you every time I pull something up. So we have Serpent Transformation. Again, we're doing lots of 40 here. We have 40, 43, 44. Maybe some of you are in your 40s, or the number 4 could be of importance. We also have Life Force and Ankh, number 10. So with Life Force, I'm kind of, again, getting the notion that you're regaining your energy, regaining your power in whichever way you feel is necessary. For example, I like to do this by meditating. Some people like to do this by working out, and I guess it depends on what it is that you do. And some people do this by throwing themselves into work. So I feel and see you regaining your power, or regaining your sense of individuality, or even your sense of who you are as a person. And oddly enough, I feel like that was never really the case, because for some of you, I'm getting that you always had it, but it's like you're either you're struggling with it or you're kind of reassessing who you are as a person. Because maybe the person you thought you were is no longer... Because I'm seeing you trying to do something that you used to do. So for example, let's say you have a workout routine. You try to get into the workout routine and it doesn't make sense to you anymore. You're like, why am I even doing this? This doesn't feel right. So then you come up with another work routine, or you shift it, or it changes. So is this you relearning to be in your own skin? And because of this, it's, again, you're going through a change. It feels more internal, but it is going to change you externally as well. I'm kind of liking this. I like the transformative nature of this pile. Let's get the rest of your cards. There's also a heaviness to this pile that wasn't really in the previous ones, which is really interesting. Some of you could be spending time in a forest. For pile 2, we have harvest. I'm not taking that one reversed. We have body. Oh, some of you could be having not nutrition issues, and if you are, by all means, see a professional. But it's kind of like what you're eating doesn't nourish your body anymore. And I've noticed this as I've gotten old. Like, the more I've aged, like, my body will react differently to different foods. And of course, this is anybody. So your body may start acting differently to certain foods, or you may decide to just not, like, maybe you just lose the appetite for certain foods and you gain an appetite for something else. So for example, I love chocolate, chocoholic here. But recently I've been like less and less into chocolate. And ironically, I've developed like a taste for yogurt. Like, I hate yogurt. But within the past few months, I've just been craving yogurt, and I've been trying all kinds. I blame Iceland because I tried skyr there. And ever since I've had the skyr there, it's like my body's been craving it. And I haven't been able to find anything as, well, I found similar, but not anything as crazy as the stuff over there. So your body could be going through changes, and the foods that you are craving could be different. Or maybe you just lose your appetite for certain foods that you used to love. So I do see that. And that's just part of the transformation. Like, you're going through an emotional transformation, a mental internal transformation, and that's affecting your body. And that's okay. I feel like there's no... I mean, if you do feel some sort of alarm that you need to see a doctor, that could be the case. But sometimes it's just our body craves certain things and we have to listen to it. You know, I'm still eating yogurt. I still think it's weird and gross, but my body's craving whatever's in it. We have connect. Oh my God. Missed connections. So you may be withdrawn this month for sure. Back of the deck, union. Oh, interesting. Okay. The union and the lovers card here are two different energies, because the lovers, again, you let go of something. This could even be letting go of an aspect of yourself that you didn't think you would let go of. I see this a lot with people who mature and they let go of that partying instinct, or I'm hearing shopaholic instinct for some of you. Maybe you used to spend a lot of money and now you're like, you know what? I don't even need that much stuff. So you've let go of that. But I'm also getting that in the process of letting go, you've also let go of a lot of other things that you shouldn't have let go. So let's say, again, let's stick with the example that you broke up with someone romantically. Let's say you had friends while you were with that person. And because you broke up with them, you kind of distance yourself from everybody else. The truth is, I feel like you had friends there that were still your friends, regardless of whether you were dating this person or not. So there's like a missed connection there. And I feel like you will eventually find your way back to that. Does that make sense? Because that's definitely happened to me, where I've let go of people. And oddly enough, I still keep in contact with the friends that I met through them years later. Or if not in contact, then, you know, within, like, sometimes I'll just follow them on social media or whatever, or I'll talk to them when I see them in person. It's kind of weird. I'm getting a little bit of that. So I'm getting that in all this purging, because it does feel like an immense purging this month. You will make new, maybe even better connections. Maybe whatever you let go of was in the way of you reuniting with certain, if it's not people, it could be things. It could also be like hobbies. It could be interests. It could be something else. So I feel like you've let go, and of course, letting go can be painful, or having to process not being with somebody during this time of the year could be a whole situation. But I'm seeing that you will find your way back to the things that truly were calling your soul. because it's kind of like a circle of life thing, because we have snakes here more than once. Shedding a skin can be painful, I'm assuming. I don't know, I've never been an animal that sheds its skin, but I can only assume it's not comfortable, hence why your body's also rejecting certain things, or why your body may be rejecting certain things. If it's not food, it could even be things like I'm thinking topical things like lotions and shampoos and stuff. So, or even, I'm not saying some of you are going to develop allergies, but maybe that's also the case. But it's also accepting new things. You purge and then you bring in something new. Love, yeah, see, it's like you bring in love. I feel like what you're going to find more than anything, oh, we have magic and birth, wow. You'll understand why you had to let go of something and why it's continuing this month. But with that said, I want to get into your tarot because I love this energy. I love purging energy. Me personally, I'm somebody who doesn't have a hard time letting go, because once I've accepted that I have to let go of it, I get excited for what comes through. But that's me and I'm crazy. So, or I guess some people see it as crazy. I'm not afraid of letting things go, but I can tell that this pile might have some, if it's not like issue with letting go, it could just be like the whole process again. It's like, again, I keep being brought back to like the example of a breakup. You know, when you break up and you have to tell everybody, oh yeah, we're broken up. And then it becomes a whole thing you have to talk about, but you really don't want to talk about. I'm kind of getting that. And then people are like, oh, why? Why did you break up? Oh, how long were you together? Oh, you know, it becomes a whole thing. And sometimes you don't want to talk about it for various reasons. All right, so we have strength reversed. I'm not surprised because like I said, this month you are regaining your strength pile too. We have the King of Pentacles and regaining a sense of stability, regaining a sense of your body. I feel like maybe some of you have let yourself go recently, or your body hasn't felt like yours. So you're relearning who you are in this new body of yours. I'm getting a little bit of that. Again, the example of like hitting the gym is coming through, or your body just not liking certain foods, or, you know, your appetite changing, which is all to do with earth energy. We have the 10 of Swords. Things can only go up from here. Things can only go up from here. And I do see you again not wanting to like be bothered with friends or not wanting to be around people, but I feel like they want to be around you. And I'll be honest, pile 2, I feel like regardless of whether you want to be around people or not, you're going to feel the same. So ask yourself, like, is it fair to those who want to be around you that you, I mean, again, you can do what you want, but it's like if they had nothing to do with it, if you're going to feel the same regardless of whether you're around them or not, would it be better to be with them or to not be with them? And that's a question for you to ask yourself, because I feel like when people truly adore and support you, they want to adore and support you no matter what you're going through. Because I'm kind of getting that with the Page of Cups here. I feel like people want to be there for you emotionally or otherwise. They care about your well-being, because I'm kind of being shown the perspective of the people who want you to let them in, whether it's friends or family or whomever. Back of the deck, Mercury. Your ability to manifest at this moment is going to be very low though. So do be careful with that. I feel like it could be easy for people to take advantage of you, or it could be easy for you to misread something because of the energy you are in. So don't make any crazy decisions right now. Don't make any important decisions. Keep things at a minimum, or not at a minimum. Keep things low profile. And wait for this to pass over for when you are finally back in your strength. I'm being shown biorhythms, and I don't remember if biorhythms show you when you are at your best to make decisions. I could explain it astrologically, but for whatever reason, I'm being shown biorhythms, which I'm not that familiar with, but on an astrological standpoint, that they make sense to me. So let's get the rest of your cards. Let's get love and relationships, since friends popped up here. What is going on in your love and relationships? Yeah, the Four of Pentacles. You're letting go of a lot. You're letting go of a lot, and it's kind of like, I'm hearing let the pieces fall where they may. Because I'm seeing you just not, it's not that you don't care, it's just that you've kind of, let's say when you hang out with friends, you typically make decisions or you have your input in this. This time, you're not going to have that. Like I said, you don't have the strength right now to have things work out in your favor. You don't have that manifestation energy. So you're going to be swept along with everybody else's ideas, with everybody else's decisions. Make sure it's somebody's plans or decisions that you're okay being swept up in. Because right now, you're not going to have the strength that you typically would, is what I'm hearing / seeing. You have the Ace of Swords. Yeah, you're just like wanting to check out. You are not social at all this month. But here's the thing. That's okay. Just be aware that you're not going to get what you want because you're not in that mood. It's interesting that this is really affecting your either your platonic friendships or your family dynamic. Be careful with who you associate with because that's the energy you're going to be picking up. The Emperor, yeah, you're not in control this month. You are not in control this month. But maybe that's an okay thing. Maybe some of you don't want to make the decisions. Maybe some of you don't want to have to take control. It's like you're being passenger princess, passenger prince or whatever to whomever it is calling the shots. And maybe that's why you kind of want to distance yourself from everybody because you are aware of that and that's fair. But if you have to be social, make sure you're around people that you trust and are okay with because you're going to be swept up in whatever they want to do. And the Magician. Ironically, even if you do try to assert yourself, I feel like you may end up in the plans of somebody else. So there might be people out here trying to... It's weird. There might be people out here trying to convince you that you have a lot more power. But that's only because they want to have the power, which is really interesting. So just be careful, Pile 2. Be careful right now. And maybe it is better for you to stay away from certain people. But like I said, if you can't, then be wary of people right now. All right, what's going on in career and finance? Yeah, the Six of Wands. Okay, work is looking great. Work is looking good thus far. We have the Six of Pentacles. King of Swords. Five of Wands. Again. Oh, I'm sending you so much love, Pile 2, because I can sense it feels a little bit like apathy. You're just like, whatever this month. Back of the deck, Ace of Swords reversed. In fact, Ace of Swords has come out reversed twice. So in the workplace, you're doing well, but at the same time, you kind of don't care anymore. You're just doing what you're told. So even if you're typically somebody who speaks up a lot more at work or you tend to care more this month, you're doing what you have to do and you're actually doing it great. And I feel like you don't care what people have to tell you. It's like if people give you some ridiculous thing or task to do, you're going to do it. You're not going to fight it. But ironically, because you stop caring at work, you do a better job. That's what's coming through. Like, ironically, because of that, you may start getting more praise or raises or approval, or you may be getting more than what you expected from work. I'm seeing that. Like, let's say you're always fighting for a particular schedule. You stop fighting it this month. You stop fighting it and suddenly you get the schedule you've always wanted. Ironically, you get everything you want at work because you stop caring. But I feel like this is a healthy disconnect that you've been needing at work. Instead of focusing so much on it or fighting so hard with it, you let go and it shows you how letting go can really bring in things that you want, ironically. It may actually be a great time to apply for jobs that you didn't think you could get because you might actually get them, oddly enough. So that's one positive here. And that could actually be a way for you to shift into the next chapter of your life, if that's applicable here. Same thing with, when it comes to money though, you might find all the things that you want, but you may have a hard time budgeting. So pick and choose what you want. So yes, you will find like everything you want on sale, but you may only have so much money for the things that you want. So you're not going to get everything, but you will get something you want. I'm getting that for you. So with that said, pile 2, let's get your final card. Your final advice card. And again, I'm sending you so much love, pile 2. This pile needs a hug. So comment below and I'll send you a virtual hug. Comment below and I'll send you a hug. And everybody, if you see pile 2 in the comments, please give each other hugs here. We'll get through it. Today I will find the sweetness in the little things. Yeah, exactly. You need to find sweetness in small things, in the little things that maybe they're not your big everything, but let's say you love to drink your favorite hot cocoa in the morning, or you love, the quiet evenings where you get to read, or you just get to chill and nobody bothers you. Just take joy in those small things. And over time, they add up to something big and joyous. Do something small for yourself. Something small. I know for the holidays, I always try to do at least one holiday thing to get me in the mood. Doesn't matter what it is. Could be baking cookies, could be going out to see the lights or whatever. And it's like, okay, I did that for myself. I gained my little gold star. I gained my little holiday badge of the year. But yeah, this is where I leave it, pile 2. I am sending you so much love, sending you so much care. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Hello there, pile 3. If you chose the red candy cane, then we have your reading here for you. About the month of December, we're going to see what the month of December has in store for you. We're going to start with the oracles and look into your general, love, relationship, and career and finance. So some of you could be a little distracted this month. I'm getting that a little bit strongly because I'm trying to do like this weird thing with my jacket because it's being all weird. But some distraction for sure is coming through. So you may have a lot going on this month. Let's get started with your oracle. We have gratitude number 18. All that I am and all that I'll be, forever in gratitude, I'll eternally be. So it might be a really great month to express your gratitude, which is funny because I was talking about this in another pile, where for me, the end of the year is kind of like a showing of gratitude to the people who have been there for me all year round, or, as of late, as of recent. So you don't have to wait until Thanksgiving, or even if you want to do it past Thanksgiving, if you celebrate Thanksgiving, you can still do that. I know I do that toward the end of the year. So some of you could be expressing your gratitude in whatever way you feel is necessary. Let's get more cards for you. The 18th of this month could be important, which is late Sagittarius. Or the 18th of any month. The 18th could be an important day. Maybe it's your birthday. Mine's May 18th, which is interesting. So that could be important. We have Frost, number 16. Ice cold melting in time, a frozen glance at what lies behind, what lies ahead, and what lies within the chilling frost of thy undead. So there's something here about looking back, looking forward, and looking at the present moment as well. So life could be changing very drastically for you. And it could be, maybe it could start this month, maybe it will be the next year. Because it feels like a standstill, but like a good standstill, like looking back at everything and also looking forward. I think that's part of the reason why you are so full of gratitude this month for sure. Also, there's a lot of white in these cards, which makes me think of like new beginnings. I think of like a blank slate, the whiteness. And then we have Silent Night, number 32. If by night the world should sleep, a sleep so deep the silence is deafening, there would sound nothing at all nothing would sound. So it could be a rather quiet month for some of you. Maybe you enjoy having a quiet December, or maybe you just spend a lot of time. Even if it's not by yourself, I feel like the people around you may be very silent. Maybe you hang out with people who don't make a lot of noise. Take that if it resonates, of course. But I do see you spending a lot of time on your own. Again, it's weird because I'm saying on your own, but I don't feel like you're alone. I feel like you're surrounded by people who understand you. Therefore, the silence is peaceful. Like it's a peaceful silence. Let's get the rest of your cards for my... Oh, wait. I'm not using this one first. Let's use this one first. Like I said, you're a little distracted. So do make it a point to do what you need in order to focus this month, pile 3. Okay, this one wanted to come out. We have Soil, number 24. You're growing something. And Home. You're also learning. Because we have, like, you could be researching for certain things, or you could be planning a lot in December. I know certain people like to plan a lot of things for the upcoming year in December. Whether that's, like, for example, vacations or big plans or whatever it is. You could be mapping out something. You could be planning it, especially for my planner girlies out there. Or boys. I don't know. Do guys do planners like girls do? I don't know. For those of you who like to plan, you may plan in December, because I'm seeing literally like a map, mapping out things of where you can go, what you can do, organization as well. Let's get the rest of your cards for pile 1. We have Journey, Labyrinth. Yeah, maybe some of you are planning a lot of travel in the coming year. So you're planning like where to go and what to do with all that time. Maybe the next year you've learned that either you have to go somewhere or you've been given like the means to go somewhere, and you're kind of, again, planning and mapping things out. Maybe you're doing that for the month of December as well, but for whatever reason, I see that more in the future. So yes, you could be planning things for maybe for the end of the month, or maybe for this month. Maybe you're planning things right now for December, but I see you using everything wisely, because Labyrinth makes me think of having to take the proper steps in the right direction, calculating how you're getting there and how you're getting out. We also have Serendipity, Shooting Star. So I do feel like you may have a lot of surprises this month, but they're welcome and they're pleasant. Because the energy coming through here, I mean, this could be you, or this could just be how you are going to be this month. It's like you're very calculating, you're looking at your plans, you're being very quiet, very, very non-festive, kind of in contrast to, I guess, what some people may see December as, like, especially if you live somewhere where they celebrate a lot of the Christmas holidays. You don't have to, of course, but I see you planning a lot. I see you mapping things out. I see you kind of getting lucky with certain aspects of your planning. So for example, let's say you decide to do something during a particular month then in the next year. Well, it turns out that something is going to happen during that time that just happens to coincide, and it's like a lucky surprise. An example would be like, let's say you plan a trip to a place, and then it turns out your favorite band is going to be in town that week that you are visiting. So you decide to also, go book a concert ticket for that. So I'm getting something serendipitous here, like things coincide really well. It could also be this particular month, but I feel like it's going to be something that keeps happening. So it could happen this month, or it could happen in the future. Like you find out things that just align. Some of you could be getting really into astrology as well. Maybe you're looking at your astrological aspects for the following year. I don't always do that. I only do it like so far out because then I'll forget. But maybe some of you are trying to like align the stars literally with how you do things in the following year. Like maybe you decide to take certain like doctor's appointments during certain times of the month or year, and you decide to party and travel other times. Take that as it resonates. What else do we have for my pile 3? We have Embrace. We have Explore. Yeah, I feel like some of you want to visit new things, do new things. You could also be embracing an aspect of yourself that is very curious. It's like you want to go where your heart takes you. You want to go where your curiosity takes you. It could start this month, and it will like progress into the following year, because a lot of you, you're looking towards the future. We have Play. Yeah, lots of fun. It's weird because the energy here is very quiet, very calm, but I feel like you're going to have a lot of fun this month as well. Oh, okay, that one fell. We have Flow. And I feel like you're very good with the flow. This could be my pile of people whom, in order for you to have fun, you have to plan things out first. I know that doesn't make any sense, or it may not make sense to some people. It makes sense to me. I'm that kind of person. I plan things out, and as long as I know what's happening when, I can let myself loose. That I'm that kind of person. Ask anybody who's been on a vacation with me. I prefer to have plans of what to do, because when I don't, I feel frazzled. I feel like I'm wasting time. There's exceptions, like if I'm visiting family, that's a whole different thing. But if it's somewhere new, or if it's somewhere where there's stuff to do, I have to have my itinerary, because then I can have fun. So maybe some of you are very similar. Like if you know what you're doing, for example, in the month of December, then you're able to let loose and know what to expect. And once you know what you're expecting, you can flow and have fun. I know not everybody resonates with that, but that may be something that you're embodying this month, pile 3, or you could be dealing with somebody who is like that. And then back of the deck, we have work. Yeah, because some of you are trying to balance work and play. Or if you work remotely, or if you work from home, or if you're able to travel for work, I feel like you're trying to balance those things out, which is really going to be like a center of focus for this month. Maybe some of you are traveling this month and you're kind of trying to see how you can work around maybe certain holidays if you celebrate them, or birthdays or something like that, which is really interesting. But with that said, let's move on to the tarot portion to see your general love, relationship, and work and career for my pile 3. You're the only pile so far that I've been that I've decided to record at night. Or it's dark. It's not really night. Well, I guess it is. It's like 7, but it's getting dark now because it's getting close to that time of the year in this in the northern hemisphere. So maybe some of you are working odd hours, or you're spending more time like with no sun, or you're having to deal with like a time change, especially for those of you who travel often. Or you may just find yourself with less sun, especially I'm thinking of like the northern hemisphere, if you're close to the northern hemisphere. All right, so for general for my pile 3, we have the 9 of Wands. We have death reversed. Interesting. We have the moon. Again, number 18 is coming through. Why is that? I feel like the 18th will be an important date in December 18th. And we have the Emperor upright. I almost said the 4 of December as well. And we have the Ace of Pentacles. You're not really wanting to set any roots. It's like you don't want to put anything down. It's funny because you're planning, but you don't want to make anything too solid because you know that things may change, or you may be given a lot more control over something. And it's kind of like when you're being given the wheel when you thought somebody else was driving, and you're like, wait, whoa, let's hold on a minute. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where everybody else wants to go. I don't know what roads to take. So there's a reassessing of how you go through life, for sure. It's kind of like once you're given control, what do you do with that control? Once you're given freedom, what do you do with that freedom? You might be a little bit overwhelmed with it, which is understandable. So I see you. It's weird because some of you are expecting a little bit of a push and pull, but things happen so easily, so naturally, and maybe even a little fast that you're kind of having to reassess everything. Is what I'm getting. And I feel like you weren't expecting it either. It's like you're finally understanding why certain people do certain things. For example, let's say you've never in your life ever driven a car. So you wonder why certain people do certain things in cars. And you always kind of judge them from that perspective. And then suddenly you have a car and you're driving and you're on the road and you have, suddenly you understand why people do certain things. And it's like you're learning empathy through being the very thing that you at one point only observed, is what I'm getting. So I'm getting a little bit of that. Back of the deck, we have the King of Cups. Yeah, it's empathy. It's you learning complete empathy where there used to not be any. And I don't want to say it's humbling. It's more like understanding. Maybe it is a little humbling, but I don't feel like Spirit wants you to take it that way. They want you to see it from a perspective of somebody being in control for once when you weren't used to it. I see this a lot in the workplace where you used to judge your boss for all the things they did, and then suddenly you're in that position. It's like, oh, so this is why they act the way they do. This is why they do the things they do. It makes sense now. That's what I'm getting. So let's move on to love and relationships. What is happening for my pile 3 in love and relationships? That will include platonic or familial. So the people around you. We have the Sun reversed. We have the 4 of Pentacles. We have the 7 of Pentacles reversed as well. You're not really putting a lot of effort into being around people this month. We have the World reversed. Interesting. We have the Four of Swords upright, sorry, and then the Seven of Wands reversed. Yeah, you're not really dealing with people. I don't think you have anything against them. It's just you're focusing on you. You're letting go of any expectations. You're not really making it a point to be the center of attention. And you're not really focused on, I just feel like it's too much. I am kind of getting the feeling that you may be drained socially this month. Therefore, you're kind of avoiding everybody if you can, which is surprising because you're tired. You're dealing with other things. You're doing other stuff. You could be isolated. It's giving hermit energy, even though the hermit isn't here. I'm going to get clarifiers for this, but I see you just kind of not being around people. Though people will wonder where you are. With the world and the sun here, they are questioning. It's like, where's pile 3? Why isn't pile 3 here? Yeah, you just don't want to deal with people. Interesting that death is reversed. So some of you are going through a transformation. You've been going through this transformation for some time. I feel like you're still in the... like you're still processing the transformation, or it's been taking longer than usual for you to kind of go through this metamorphosis. So you're kind of just not there for, like, you don't care for being around people. And it's nothing against them. You're just going through stuff. And the Tower reversed. Back of the deck, the Hangman. Yeah, you're just going through it. Like, I'm seeing you just, it's nothing personal, and maybe people won't take it personally either. It's just whatever you're going through is taking longer than usual, and I feel like they even know this. So, for example, I could probably illustrate this best by, like, when you're moving from house to house, or when you're trying to find a place to live, like, it could be a lot. Maybe you're trying to find a new home, or you're trying to, like, let's say you're separating from somebody. It could be a long process. So whatever you're doing, it's draining your energy, and you have very little energy left for people. Your social battery depleted. Your social battery non-existent. So I feel like you're avoiding a lot. So hopefully you don't have... I feel like a lot of people won't take it personally, but you will be missed. I feel like people are just kind of wondering where you are. Especially if you're not going to be there for the majority of the month. Maybe some of you... maybe you're taking the whole month off, or you're, like, elsewhere for the entire month. Again, because I'm getting a lot of traveling. So you could be spending the entirety of this month somewhere where you typically aren't. And that's why you're not really... there's not much going on socially. And I feel like you would rather be with certain people, but the truth is you've just got a lot going on. Like, it's not even crossing your mind to socialize. So that's what I'm getting. For the last ones, we're getting your career and finance. Career and finance for my pile 3. I keep hearing a delayed transformation, whatever that means. I feel like it's like when you end something, but it doesn't really end until, like, weeks later. Like, I get this a lot with people who sign contracts. Like, you terminated something, but then you can't really leave until weeks later. I'm getting that, which happens a lot in, like, workplaces or whatever. Maybe there is a contract here that you had to sign, whether it's literal contract or even a soul contract. We have the Five of Cups. We have the Queen of Swords. Be careful with somebody. I don't know if they're out to get you or not. I feel like they misinterpreted something that you they will misinterpret something that you do or say, or maybe they've already done this. Because the Queen of Swords reversed is like somebody here is talking without really knowing what they're talking about. Or they miscommunicated or something here. I don't know if it's intentional or not, though. That's what I'm seeing. I'm trying to see if it's malicious. Ace of Cups. Three of Swords. You're going to interpret it as malicious, that's for sure. It's going to come off as malicious. So whether somebody meant to or not, they're going to take something you said in a certain way that doesn't look great. And it's going to have consequences. Or it's going to at least bother you. If it doesn't have consequences, it will bother you. So be careful what you say around certain people, because somebody's going to take it the wrong way. You might pick somebody on the wrong day, or somebody will misinterpret what you said or what you did. Back of the deck, we have the Two of Wands, yeah. And Five of Wands. Because I see you disappointed by somebody's actions or somebody's words or somebody's miscommunication. That's what it is. It's complete miscommunication. I don't feel this is... It's weird because I feel like the Ace of Cups makes me wonder if this is somebody close to you, even if they're not. There's like no emotion here. Whatever happened, it's like somebody here. It's not that they don't care. It's just that maybe this person is like emotionally stunted. Like, you know how some people will say things because they don't really care about people? I'm feeling complete apathy from this person. So be careful with what you say or what you do. This person, why do they misinterpret it? I don't know what their deal is. I'm tapping into this person's energy and they feel like they've got... So when I was being taught how to read energy, I was taught that some people will just have like dark entities attached to them because whatever. It feels like this. So it's like they're emotionally numb and it's really just like a darkness in them that they can't shake off because they're not aware that they have it. And it kind of makes them act very cold. It makes them act very, not cruel, but cold. Because I don't see any ill intent from this person, but at the same time, I don't see any good intent either. You know, it's just kind of like chaotic, or if not chaotic, it's funny because I don't think this person is chaotic, but they will misinterpret something. And unfortunately, it's going to make you feel a certain way, or you could be like, I feel like there's going to be consequences. I'm not going to say how, but I am picking up on that. And I'm being shown a scenario that I've had to witness, unfortunately. And I'm seeing something similar. This person feels, if they're not a woman themselves, they could just have like a very feminine way of acting or behaving. So somebody who's very passive, somebody who doesn't say much, somebody who's not in control, let's put it that way. What else can we know? And somebody, unfortunately, is going to be on their side. Somebody's going to agree with them for whatever reason. Because the person that they go to, I feel like this is going to be a higher up, is actually going to be on board with them. It's like, yeah, and I'm not saying that I agree or that it's right. Like, I don't know what happens and I don't even know, but there's going to be some miscommunication. Somebody else will also like be on board with their miscommunication. So it's basically people against you. I don't feel like you're going to end up losing anything though. I just feel like it's going to make you wary in the workplace. Yeah, you're not going to lose anything. You will be fine. Yeah, you will be fine. So with that said, let's get your final card, pile 3. If it's not the workplace, like I said, this is also finances. So be careful with how you communicate a certain deal. For example, if you're about to sell something or buy something, make sure you read the fine print. Make sure everything is communicated well, because that could affect the money you make or lose here. And the thing is you don't want there to be any harsh feelings between you and the buyer or seller, whichever you are here. All right, so pile 3. We have look in the mirror and say you are beautiful. That means the most coming from you. Oh, this is so sweet. I feel like this month is really about your self-acceptance and about yourself here. Because you're acknowledging all the things that you've become, all the things that you will become, like how far you've come for sure. Again, there's this energy of gratitude for everything that's in your life, or there's going to be a big push for that energy, especially during Sagittarius season. I'm getting that the most strongly, but this is where I leave it, my beautiful pile 3. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Hello there, pile 4. If you chose this, I think it's milk chocolate, dark chocolate with peppermint. Then we have a reading here for you. For the month of December, we're going to see what the month of December has in store for you. We're going to start with your oracles, and we're going to get into your tarot, where we're going to see the general love, relationship, and career and finance. So let's just get started. Pile 4. We have contemplation number 7. It breathes in the stillness of all that is, exhaling all that isn't, coming from the ends of the stars and the highest of the lows. Coming from the ends of the starts and the highest of the lows. Here I gasp for the answers to unfold. This feels like making decisions. It also feels like taking a pause before you move on to something else so that you can gather your bearings, so you can collect yourself, collect your thoughts, because I keep having to stop to think about what I'm having to say, which is odd. So a lot of you, it feels like that energy, like you're having to pause before you move on to something. Maybe you have a lot to think about, or maybe there's a lot of different paths you can take, or you could just want to really take the time to think things out thoroughly. So the number 7 could be important. The 7th of the month could be important. Somebody here could be a life path 7. Let's get the rest of your cards pile 4. I keep hearing I have a lot to think about. That's a song. I have no idea. There was a song from like, I want to say the 2000s. I have a lot to think about. I have a lot to think about. That's what they would sing in the background. And I want to say it was like one of those pop punk songs. Oh, what's the name of that song? I can't even think of the rest of it. Just the chorus is going, I have a lot to think about. We have candle magic number 2. Finger the spine and caress thy lips. Light the spell spilling from your grip. Okay, you're manifesting something. It's like you're having to contemplate, because in doing so, you manifest something. You're also in the early stages of this, because we have the number 2 and the number 7. They're all numbers. They're all single digit numbers. So in the beginning stages. Also, the first week of the month could be very important. And cold moon, number 6. Take with thy dreariest of moments, release me for their tongue and nourish me with light. Yeah, you're releasing a lot. So you're having to think a lot the first week, because you're kind of going through something, or you're planning something. It feels a little bit pivotal. And definitely the 6th and 7th could be the more important days. Like maybe those 2 days are when you have to do a lot. Really interesting. Also, first of all, this looks like the same lady. And second of all, she has her eyes closed in both images. Even the dog here has his little eyes closed. The cold moon, the full moon of this month could be important as well, or you could do well to work with that moon. Full moons tend to be full of more energy. So that's when you're able to do the most. Even if you typically are low energy, you'll have more energy during that time. Conversely, the new moon is when you'll have to relax a little bit more. That's when we are at our least energetic. For example, the Scorpio moon just finished as I'm recording this, and I'm slowly regaining my energy back. Let's see, back of the deck, Hearth 19. Make your warmth take in the gazing flame upon the shivers, they melt away. There's also something about slowing down so you don't miss something, because I keep reading and sometimes I get ahead of myself when I read that I have to reread it. So make sure you're taking the time to look through things. It's giving like I feel like Mercury retrograde will be over by this time, but you could still be in the shadow zone, letting me know that there's still like some residual retrograde energy going on here. But yeah, some of you, this could have to do with a home. This could have to do with a place that you are having to move into, move out of, or stay at. Accommodations if you are traveling. Yeah, let's get the rest of your cards. This energy that I'm picking up on is like it comes and goes. So maybe throughout this entire month, you're kind of only half tapped into source. Like you're half intuitive and the other half you just don't know. Like your mind's a little bit overwhelmed. So make sure you're taking care of yourself mentally this month, pile 4. I was definitely more focused before I came to this pile. You might just have you have a lot to think about. We have soil. Yeah, this is something that you're growing, something that you're nourishing. You are growing. There was a previous pile that had a very similar energy. Maybe you're coming from that one as well. Because I feel like that also had this card, and there was a similar energy of like reaping what you sow, creating something. But this is more like the doing and planning stages. And the previous one, I mean, there was planning in it too, but it felt different. I'm going to get another card. We have mute. Don't tell anyone what you're doing. I feel like you have to move in silence because, and this has happened time and time again, sometimes you tell people your plans and those plans get thwarted either by their envious or nasty energy or because sometimes when you talk about something too much, it's like you're making it everybody's business. And when you make it everybody's business, then they have the opportunity to influence it for better or worse. Even from people that you love, even from people that you feel support you. You never know what their subconscious may be thinking of when it comes to that. I know that's definitely happened to me from people I thought would support me. And then things just go haywire because they don't like the freedom of will that I have to do whatever. They have other ideas for me. So we have to move in silence this month for sure. Whatever plan you're making, don't tell anyone. It's your secret. It's your business until you decide to make it somebody else's business or until you're ready to let the world know. So yeah, make plans in silence. And I get it if you want, if you may want advice, but make sure it's people that you know want the best for you. Which I guess is sometimes easier said than done. Sorry, the cards keep falling. Like I'm putting the cards off to the side and they keep like falling over. That is weird. I don't know if the camera gets it. Okay. All right, let's get more cards for you, pile 4. We have culmination, full moon. What did I say? I don't know if the full moon is around the 6th or 5th. I would look into that. I'm not even sure. I didn't look it up. But again, we're in the beginning stages. We have 2, 6, 7, 5. These other numbers, 19, 14, and 24. But yeah, you'll be at the precipice of something. Something's coming to not a closing, but to the peak of something. We're coming to the peak of something. It's kind of like, you know, when you watch a play, you're coming up on the end of the first act. That's what that feels like. What's it called? Right before the intermission. We also have life force, number 10, Ankh, yeah. And we're dealing a lot with energy this month as well. Like your energy is precious. Your time is precious, yes, but so is your energy and what you have energy for and what you don't have energy for. So I feel like, yeah, this feels very similar to a previous pile, but I worded it differently there. In this case, you're only going to have time for what you have energy for. You're only going to feed into what is important. You're not going to waste your time on something that you know isn't for you or that you're not interested in. It's very much the energy of like, if you don't care about something, you're not going to put your all into it. So you're not going to bother, which I kind of like because I feel like whatever's going on in December, you have a limited amount of, whether it's energy, time, maybe finances, maybe concern. Like you just have a limited amount of concern. It's like you can't care about everything, but you will care about the things that are important. And then back at the deck, we have change and Driscoll. Yeah, you're going through a change, a transformation for sure. Let's get the last of your cards. This energy feels a little bit cutthroat, not gonna lie. Even though all these dates are like within Sagittarius season, the Sagittarian portion of December, it doesn't feel Sagittarius. It feels more Capricorn. Maybe some of you have Saturn in Sagittarius, which would be the years right before me because I have Saturn in Capricorn. We have home. Yeah, what did I say? There's something about a place that you're staying, whether it's your own home, somebody else's home, or accommodations. Balance. You're balancing out a lot. We have test, reversed. Whatever this test is, if it is a test, if it feels like a test, you've done it before. So it's nothing to worry about. Sometimes the universe likes to have us repeat certain tests. That just means that, well, 1, it's meant to show us how far we come. And 2, sometimes it's a cycle we're meant to break out of. So if you keep seeing a similar pattern repeat in your life, ask yourself where it comes from and where you can break it. Because we're not meant to keep staying in that repeating pattern. And birth. Yeah, the beginning of something new, but it's like a delayed beginning. I'm literally hearing like a birth complication. That could be literal or it could be figurative. So for those of you giving birth, there could be like either the baby comes early or late, or maybe there's like a medical complication. And if we're taking it more figuratively, which a lot of you are, this is like something's about to start, but it's delayed, or maybe it's before you're ready, or you have to take certain precautions to it. So let's say you want to start, for example, a new job. Maybe you have to wait a little bit longer before that happens, or you are actually hired on the spot and you have to quit your current job like tomorrow, something like that. Or let's say you're beginning a project and you have to wait for something. So like, yes, something is beginning. It's not going to begin on your terms though. It's beginning in either divine timing or somebody else's terms. But it is starting regardless. Back of the deck, we have simplify. Yeah, I feel like you're keeping this month really simple, which might be hard for some of you because to me, both Sagittarius and Capricorn are maximalist kind of energies. More so Sagittarius than Capricorn, obviously. But like, for me, December is always like a big or go home kind of month. So I feel like a lot of you are making it a point to keep things simple this month against all odds, because that's kind of what I'm feeling. Everybody's all about spending more money, spending more time with people, overdoing it, etc. And you're over here like, nope, I'm keeping it simple. I am keeping it simple. So it's funny, half of the piles in this entire reading were like against the odds and the others were like going with the flow. So there's very opposite energies here, but I'm here for it regardless of which one you are. Maybe you're both, maybe you're only one. But with that said, let's get into your tarot to see more specifically what is happening for you in the month of December. For my pile 4. So we're going to start with the general pile for month of December. That song is going to bother me so much. I have a lot to think about. Oh my gosh. It's not even a song I like or by a band that I listen to, but I grew up listening to a lot of pop punk when I was in, I guess, high school. If I remember, I'll post it below. Maybe some of you were into that growing up as well. We have the 5 of Cups, Scorpio, Mars and Scorpio. What I love about Mars and Scorpio is that they're very intentional. They're also very private, very secretive. They're probably some of the more amazing people at setting boundaries. Depending on the person, I think either they can be all in or all out. 5 of Water, 5 of Cups. Again, contemplative energy. It's like you're looking at the 2 cups that are up, but you're also looking at the 2 cups that are, the 3 cups that are down. We have the 2 of Wands, reversed, Mars and Aries. Lots of Martian energy. We have the Sun. Yeah, the 19th could be important because you did get the number 19 in the, in the oracles as well. What was that card that was the 19th? The Hearth. The Sun. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Lots of light. So I feel like you're not really showing anybody what you're going through. Like on the outside, you're happy-go-lucky. You're basically yourself. Maybe a little bit more shiny than usual. Like maybe you're actually glowing. But ironically, on the inside, you've got, again, a lot to think about. You've got things going on. You have so much. We have the 4 of Cups, but you're not letting anybody know this. Yeah, the 4 of Cups reversed. The Moon reversed. Sorry, the High Priestess reversed. The High Priestess. Your intuition, like I said, it comes and goes this month. So do take care to meditate. Do whatever spiritual practice you need to keep your intuition up, because it's kind of vulnerable this time of the year, oddly enough. Some of you could have Neptune in Sagittarius, like the late degrees of Sagittarius or the early degrees of Capricorn, or you could be being aspected this month for that. But I feel like there's a feeling here that you're doing good externally. Internally, you're a little bit of a mess, and nobody would really think that unless they really knew you or unless they got to know you or if you just told them. Because I feel like you mask really well. Especially with Mars and Scorpio, like I said, great at boundaries. You don't let anybody know unless it's their business, or you're being guided to do so. Like you making sure to keep your private life and your not so private life, very separate here, because you've got stuff going on. Like, even I'm trying to tap into what's going on with you, and you're not letting me know that you're probably going to have a good time of keeping those two worlds separate. However, your intuition is not going to be 100% on point. So again, do be careful with your gut feeling, or make it a point to nourish the gut feeling, nourish the intuition, because I feel like sometimes worry and things like anxiety can thwart our own intuition, because we assume the worst as opposed to allowing the universe to tell us what's going to happen. Because we have to stay in a very neutral state of mind to access our intuition. I know people say, oh, you have to be high vibrational. No, you have to be neutral. Not low vibrational, not high vibrational, neutral. Because I've been in an intuition where I'm very high vibrational, but all that really does sometimes is set you up for disappointment, because you're seeing the positive outcome and not the negative outcome, or the neutral outcome. So there's an energy here that you must remain neutral this month, pile 4. And then we open up to the Queen of Pentacles. Also nourish yourself, take care of your body. Take care of mind, body, spirit, but mostly your body. Take the rest you need. Pamper yourself. Ooh, King of Wands. You could have somebody who can help you out here. King of Fire is very strong masculine energy, but it does not have to be a man. It's somebody who's in control, charismatic, somebody who knows how to get you out of your head and out of your emotions and into the present moment. So this could be a friend, this could be a family member, somebody who can really help you out with this. They don't have to be a fire sign either, but they could have a lot of strong fire placements. Yeah, really interesting. So I kind of like this dynamic. So this person could help you out. Yeah, let's keep it like this. Let's go into love and relationships for the month of December. And now I'm hearing, oh, that song. If I could find you now, things would get better. We could leave this town and run forever. Is it called Ocean Avenue? There's a place off Ocean Avenue. I think it's Hoobastank. Because I know they sang another song. Or no, Dashboard Confessional. Why are all these songs from like the early 2000s coming through? I don't really listen to that music like that anymore. I did as a kid, obviously, but not anymore. Maybe something about the early 2000s could be important. All right, so for love and relationships, we have the King of Pentacles reversed. We have Justice reversed. Something not going somebody's way. Or not being able to rely on somebody who's typically very reliable, which is interesting. Because both King and Knight of Pentacles, very reliable energy, but reversed. With the Justice reversed, somebody here messed up when they're not used to messing up. Strength reversed. Okay, things are definitely at a standstill when it comes to relationships. And I've been picking that up a lot in this reading. So December is not ironically, it's not the best time for socialization. And I say ironically because December can be like a big party kind of month, because it's the end of the year and because the holidays, the Western holidays, you can celebrate them. And the Hermit. Yeah, you're better going at it alone this month. So if you're expecting to hang out with friends, a lot of them may cancel, a lot of them may be unreliable, or they may not have the funds to do something. So expect to go at it alone as opposed to being with people. Because I feel like people who usually don't flake on you will. People who are usually more reliable will not be. And it's out of their control. With the Justice card and the Strength card, like reversed, it's out of their control. So again, the Five of Cups reversed. This is like, don't worry about it. It's nothing personal. It's nothing. Again, I'm hearing that your intuition is kind of out of balance here, because you might take it as a sign of the universe. It's like, oh, well, this person isn't meant to be with me, or I'm not meant to be, hanging around this person or whatever. It's not that. It's literally things out of their control. So don't take it as a sign that they're evil. That's what I'm hearing. Why did I hear that? Evil. No, they're not. It's just literally, yes, divine timing is at play, but it doesn't mean that it's not meant to be. Does that make sense? Because I feel like a lot of you could be really disappointed. And especially when it comes to romance, you may think, somebody had to cancel plans. It's like, oh, well, I'm not meant to be in a relationship with them anyway. No, it's just literally stuff outside your control. Maybe it's a work situation, maybe it's a family situation. Legitimate situations as to why things cannot go through are coming through for love and relationships. So this will include your friends. This will include your potential romantic relationships. This will include family. And this is just kind of like a reality check for some of you, because I feel like sometimes we can be quick to judge. It's like, oh, they canceled on me, I'm never going to have anything to do with them again. And sometimes, yes, that is true. But in this case, there's just something going on. Justice could be legal. So maybe there's something to do with, like, especially if this person is divorced or has children with somebody else, that could be taking up their time. For example, if you are dating somebody who has children, you would want them to prioritize their children as opposed to you. So it's kind of like that energy where, like, yes, it'd be great to hang out with them, but if their kids are asking to hang out, it makes sense for them to focus on that, because it would be the same on your end. Strength reversed, somebody is dealing with somebody who has control over them. This could be family. So yeah, you're better going at it alone this month. And King of Swords. But they will be in contact. One way you will know whether they are good or bad for you is how they communicate, how they make things up for you. Like, by making it up, I mean like they apologize through actions. Yeah, there's the High Priestess reversed. Like, it's not a sign of the universe that things are awful and not meant to happen. Like, that's not what it is. At least this month, at least in this instance. I say that because that's happened to me, and I'm like, oh, well, this is never meant to be. This is not meant to happen. But the universe is like, girl, chill. You need to take things slow because you're known for going really fast in things, which is true. Okay, so last cards is going to be career and finance. What's happening for my pile 4 in career and finance? We have the 10 of Pentacles reversed. We have the Ace of Pentacles reversed. This feels more finance. Things may end up costing more than you thought they would, or things are, you can't invest in the same things that you used to invest in, or things end up costing more, so you have to find an alternative, is what I'm hearing. So let's say, for example, every year you do something in December that you spend certain money on, and when you go to make those plans this time, it ends up costing twice or even 3 times what it usually costs. And you're like, well, that's out of my budget now. I have to find an alternative. It's something like that. Whether it's something as simple as food or something as more complicated as, like, I know people who vacation this time of year. Maybe it's something like that. So when it comes to your finances, make sure you're budgeting appropriately, because I feel like either something has changed in, if it's not the price, it could even be in the way that price is accepted. I'm sorry, that payment is accepted. So maybe you thought you could pay with something with, I don't know, cash, and now they're only accepting card, or vice versa. I'm getting something along those lines. This feels more finance. Same thing with career, if it applies in that regard. Maybe, yeah, for example, like if your company has holiday parties, end of year parties, you might be surprised that they're asking you to pay a fee. Like maybe they're not covering drinks anymore. You have to pay your own drinks or something like that. And that could affect how you decide to go about both with your finances and with where you work. Or maybe they're, like I know in the US, you pay a little bit out of pocket for insurance and stuff. Maybe those premiums are going up, something like that. All right, workplace and career, finance. Queen of Pentacles. You're in very earthy energy this month, pile 4, which I like. Especially if you're a Capricorn, I feel like you're really tapping into that energy. We have the 9 of Wands. You're being very stingy this month. You're being very stingy, and that's okay. That is okay. You have to be stingy. You have to watch your finances. This is coming through a lot more as finances than workplace. If I was to translate this into the workplace, you're kind of the one that everybody can rely on. But the downfall is that everybody expects you to do a lot. So you're making sure you are setting up boundaries here with the Judgment card, because the Judgment card is the ultimate boundary card. This is like drawing a line permanently, impermanent marker, tattooing it, building a wall out of concrete. It's like you're setting those boundaries. And we have the Star reverse. And also, This is like you being disillusioned or disappointed by something in the workplace. Because like I said, either they're making you pay more for something, or this could be being disillusioned by something that you were expecting to spend money on, and suddenly it's like, oh, well, that costs something I wouldn't pay for anymore. Or the quality of something is going down as well, which is weird because I never really read for like physical material goods in this section, but that's how it's coming through. I guess it depends on your situation. So yeah, this month you have a lot to think about because everything is changing at the same time. And now I'm hearing that song by Keen. Everybody's changing, but I don't feel the same. These are all songs from the early 2000s, by the way. With the exception of Keen, I think that song, I don't know. But that time frame is coming through very strongly. Like the year, 2000 to about 2008 could be important. And I want to say that was the last time. No, never mind. I can't think astrologically what was going on at the time. But this is your December pile 4. Let's get your final card. Let's get your closing advice. And like I said, not everything is a sign from the universe that things are not meant to work out. Take care of that intuition of yours because it's a little bit on the fritz this month. I don't need to have a positive attitude all the time. Exactly. What did I say earlier? Like, it's not about low vibrational or high vibrational. It's about that neutral state. So you think that being positive sometimes is like the answer to everything. And it can be, and it's definitely more enjoyable than being negative. However, when you have to really tap into intuition, you have to be neutral. And for example, I would love this reading to be a little bit more positive for you, but it's more of a dose of reality that we have to remain neutral in order to see to the truth of things. Because right now, you're going through a lot, and I feel like you're reassessing what's happening around you. So yeah, don't worry about being positive. Just remain neutral and detached from the outcome or even your emotions or your expectations, and you will get the truth of everything here. But this is where I leave it, pile 4. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading. Take care.